Hey crew, it's Ken from Wild Med Kits. Wanted to look at the new Prestan Manikin. This is the Pro Plus with the new head design. We just purchased these for our other side of the company doing training, and we've used them on about 4 courses now, and just wanted to give some feedback on what we thought about the product, why we switched to it, and if it might be right for you. So these are now available in Canada. They're a pretty new product. Prestan obviously has been around for a long time, and I think they made some really cool changes to this that kind of fit our need purpose for training. So number one, here's the torso. There's really no change to the torso design. So the torso is the same. You still have at the back here is your battery compartment. So this just opens up, and it still uses 2 AA batteries. So all the same. These are set to give the feedback light system between 100 and 120. So let's see if you can see the lights there. It's kind of, well, you can kind of see them. So again, if you're getting that correct speed, you're getting those 2 green lights. If you go too fast, you get the flashy light. If you got a good compression, but you're not quite fast enough, you get a green light. And if you're not even pushing hard enough, you get the kind of flashing red. Okay, so the same light system comes into play. It's got the clicking mechanism to give you the depth feedback, so we like all of that. Prior to this, we did have the Series 2000s, and that had the new Bluetooth built in. They removed the clicker, and they made it more of an audible beeping sound. One of the challenges we had with the Series 2000 is that they wouldn't always boot up right away, because you had to do a few compressions to like start up the machine, and sometimes we had to manually take the batteries out, put them back in to get the machine to boot up. And I did find that they were eating through batteries pretty fast. So that was one of the issues we were having with it. We weren't using the Series 2000 features that much. I mean, definitely if you're doing the first responder world of training or EMS, you might want to have that kind of feedback. So it's kind of there. The disadvantage, or kind of what I thought was going to be really cool, was that we could have had this head built in with the Series 2000 kind of Bluetooth features, but that's untrue. So currently the only way to get this is back to the kind of standard compression feedback torso with the new head. I imagine at some point they'll build in that ventilation feedback and the Bluetooth connection into this as well, but currently it's not available to use this head model with it. So that's just, kind of a trade-off. Hooking up the head has always been the same. So there's those 2 clips at the top. You just unclick and it opens up the torso here. The head has those kind of 2 pinholes at the back, and it just lines up, and then you can close the torso. So that's all the same. Some of the big differences now are the lung. So here's the face. It looks fairly similar. One of the really good things I liked about this new version is there's no more face, the lung shield hanging out over the face anymore. They built it inside. I really like that. So for this one, it's actually got 2 blue buttons on the sides. So you actually squeeze this and the face comes apart. Here's the back of the head. There's nothing else you really do with this aspect of it, but it's really nice for, I guess, cleaning. It all comes apart pretty easily. This part here, actually the face comes off of this. So it's not crazy difficult to do, and you're not doing this all the time, but you can actually peel the face back and take this off. And what that allows you to do is take this little clear box out. So I'll show you here. Here's the inside of the face. Here's this little box. You can open this up. This allows you to clean out the airway section. The big aspect that we really liked about this is the inclusion of the ability to put nasopharyngeal airways in and oropharyngeal airways. Obviously, if you're doing those things, you might have some lubrication in here, so you might need to clean this. So this allows you to open it up, and you can actually take this whole box out, and you can clean this. So that's really nice. Allow it to dry for storage. You just put it back together like that. And then here's the other side of the face. You just stick this back on top, and the whole thing just kind of clicks in. So overall, that's really nice for like cleaning and setup. And now the new lung connects right here. So here's the new lung piece. There's your bag. You get the classic kind of circle you always see. And here's the new top. So instead of having to feed this, down the mouth, separate it out, put it over the face, you just have this circle connector, and that connects on right here. So all you do is place this on, push it in, and you're connected. Okay, there's your lung bag. Now we're hooking this up into the Manikin. Oh yeah, sorry. And now you can put head back together. So you just click him back together. He's good there. To attach this onto the Manikin, we did find a couple nuances with this. Now with Prestan, and I think any Manikin out there, getting the ventilation to continually always work takes a bit of setup and testing. So before every course, I always set this up. I test it with a BVM to make sure lungs are actually inflating. That way a student's not frustrated that it's when they're trying to deliver a ventilation, it's not working, and it's more a Manikin failure than it is theirs. So I always like testing them first. They do have the circle indicated on the lung bag, and there's the hard circle on the Manikin. You would think intuitively to like line it right up. I personally found if you give it a bit more slack, it tends to help. Because of the new way this neck piece occludes that neck bag to show if you're doing the head tilt correctly, it needs a bit of slack. So if it's too tight, I find it just overly occludes. And I could be wrong on that, but I leave mine just a slightly higher than that circle before I close it up. And it clicks down. Again, I like to always test these with a BVM in my class. So I can just throw this on, do a nice head tilt, and make sure I'm seeing lung inflation, which I'm seeing here. And that just cuts down on student frustration with it. So you can see this works really nice. Obviously no head tilt, you get no ventilation, nice head tilt, and you get the nice ventilation there. Pretty awesome there, and the face looks so clean. You no longer have the bag hanging out. I wish they would change the infant. Maybe they will eventually, but I think this is one of the cleanest, most user-friendly CPR mannequins on the market right now. For ease of setup for your instructors, ease of teardown, ease of cleaning, I think this is unparalleled, for sure. The other advantage is, because I do teach for the first responder program and the EMS programs, the ability to use the oropharyngeal airways and the nasopharyngeal airways in the Manikin during training is great. Often what we've done is we've had a CPR Manikin in place and then an additional airway trainer next to the Manikin so they could do the airway insertions and then go back to working on the main Manikin. So the ability to do this throughout just makes our scenarios more just easier to run, less interruption for the student. If you're going to do OPAs, the white color is the one I found works best in this Manikin. So you can just pop this in just like you would. You always go upside down and then turn it, and it goes in just like that. So here, I'll bring this up so you can all see it. So we'll pull it out. So again, you start upside down, rotate, and feed the device. So there you go. So it takes the white pretty well. It comes out pretty easily. For the NPAs, I found the 24 French is kind of the best one. Now, if you do this without lubrication, it doesn't really go in, obviously just like an NPA. So having little packets of lubricant here, we're going to get some on our NPA. I'm going to lubricate this guy up. And with a little bit of lubricant, this tends to go in, there we go, very easily. In like that, out like that. So you can go in, bring it up so you can see here. So we've lubricated it. So for the right nostril, there we go. And you can do it in the opposing nostril as well. Just changing that directionality to start. It kind of corrects itself. And with a little bit of coercion, it goes down there. So the advantage of this now, you can have your airways in place. Let's pop an OPA in as well. And you can use your BVM. And it functions right over top of this. So that is unparalleled. For us, for first responder training, I think this is fantastic. A really good addition to it. The other thing I notice is really helpful when we're doing naloxone training or Narcan training with our students. Here's our trainer intranasal device. With the old Manikins, you could just kind of put it there to pretend. The nice thing with this is you can really demonstrate actually sticking this up the nostril to show how to properly give that medication. So again, just to show you, with your naloxone trainer or your Narcan trainer, this actually fits right up the nostril. so you can do that proper demonstration of use. So just wanted to show some really cool features of the new Pro Plus heads for the Prestan Manikins. We do sell some Prestan Manikins at wildmedkits.ca. We also sell a variety of other training equipment and first aid kits. So if you'd like to check us out at wildmedkits.ca, and we appreciate you.